Yes.
All right, Callie, we're doing it. Are you excited?
I am. I am. I am. I'm excited.
I am so thrilled to be with you today. Um, this has been months in planning, planning, meeting, talking, hashing things out, going back and forth. And yeah, we're doing it. So we're going to talk about Taurus today. Um, this is the Soulistic Wellness podcast, and we're here in Philadelphia, both of us, and we're going to talk about Taurus, healing health issues experienced by Taurus rising, sun, and moon. I am the owner of Truthseeker Astrology, and Callie, could you tell us who you are?
Hello, everybody. I'm Vegan Chef Kylie. I am a vegan chef right here in West Philadelphia, and I am servicing clients and helping them to learn how to eat to thrive instead of eating to survive.
Right, and you have a business called Eat to Thrive.
Yes. And so I service clients in meal preparations,
Uh-huh.
vegan life coaching, virtual cooking sessions. I even do vegan food shopping. So for those who don't like to do food shopping, call me because I do. I'm a foodie, so I enjoy, food shopping, and you get to see and learn about all the different products and, that are on the shelves now.
Right. And has business been since the pandemic?
It's been like a roller coaster ride.
Hmm.
And I have clients that come in for small meal preps. I have clients who come in for smoothies, juices. I also have clients who come in for some of my other products that I do. So right now, I would say a roller coaster ride. I will say the popularity right now is definitely eating better, but I'm getting a lot of requests for like sea moss smoothies.
Sea moss?
Yeah, definitely
Oh,
sea moss smoothies. And
nice.
elderberry is an extra uplifter
Hmm.
that people are really interested in now. So I'm having fun with it. I'm just riding it out, going along with the flow, giving people the love that they need right now for food.
Yeah. And
Because we are using that as our coping mechanism. So
yeah. And speaking of food, let me just lay out a few housekeeping rules before we jump into this conversation. Um, I am going to do my best to try to manage everything, but I'm hearing this echo, and I'm not sure why. Like, because I want this to be a good stream. Not really sure what's going on. Um, anyway, so yeah, this is being live streamed to YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Truthseeker Astrology. You just go to YouTube and search on it. Um, Trying to build that up. And you and I will be talking about Taurus, and we'll be, hopefully getting into some of the health issues Taurus has, um, and really just kind of sharing your real time experience working with a client who is a Taurus. And we've kind of talked about this offline, but this person um, had a sweets thing, a thing for sweets, which from my experience as an astrologer, I've worked with folks with Moon and Taurus, Taurus Sun folks, and they just really love sweets. And, for the most part, Taurus takes a liking to sweets more than any other sun sign, um, mainly because it enjoys things that bring it comfort. And Taurus is also known for loving the finer things in life. So You know, it will not just get chocolate. It will get that good high-end chocolate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so with that said, you know, from an astrological standpoint, Taurus rules the neck, the throat, and the thyroid gland. So this area right here, and those of us who work, you know, who are spiritual light workers understand that, you know, the throat chakra is also a part of that picture as well. Um, Another thing about Taurus that I've observed is that it's not always motivated to move its body, to move the body, to get exercise, to, you know, because Taurus can sometimes be a little lazy. All my Taurus friends out there, but y'all need a little extra motivation to get up and move around.
You got to get some movement going.
Yes, and the, you know, Taurus is a sign of accumulation. So you have Taurus on one end of the axis, and I call it the resource axis. So Taurus on one end, Scorpio on the other. Taurus is about accumulating, so accumulating wealth, accumulating things, and
Yeah.
it does it because that gives it a sense of value. Like, look at me, I've got the things, and and I'm worth something because I have the things. Scorpio is about getting rid of things, and we'll get to Scorpio down the line when the sun goes into Scorpio later this year. But because Taurus is the sign of accumulation, weight loss is tough because they can put it on, but it's hard to get it off. And it becomes a problem, especially later on with life with some Taurus, unless there are other factors in the chart that can kind of balance that out. You know, maybe air in the chart or fire that can, you know, get it motivated to get moving and burn off the calories and things like that.
Yeah.
And I wrote down in my notes that a young Taurus with, you know, voluptuous curves and young, you know, in their young age might find themselves with a completely different body in old age. So
Yeah. Yeah. This is true. Your body does change.
fine Taurus, curvy, you know, lush body in the youthful part of the life can quickly change during middle age where those curves become something else. They're
Yeah.
not as beautiful anymore. So you know, just point out.
And all of our bodies change no matter what astrology sign you are.
But Taurus is known to be curvy. If you think
Okay.
about the astrology of Taurus, it's a Venus ruled sign. If you think about Venus, you know, all the sort of depictions of Venus are curvy, you know, lush, curvy, feminine, you know, voluptuous. And, you know, it attracts all kinds of attention, all kinds of, you know, you find Taurus members who get that money, they get the bag, right? There's a lot of them tend to be very beautiful.
Yeah.
But they have to work at it. Otherwise it doesn't look the same later. Whereas someone with like Gemini, a lot of Gemini or Libra with air signs, they might not be as curvy, but they can maintain a sort of trim figure later on. So anyway, with all that said, those of you who are looking at this live on YouTube or watching the replay, I have put links to the books that I consulted to develop this sort of astrology of Taurus in the description box. So check it out, you know, post questions or whatever like that. But we're going to get to the meat of this conversation. You worked with a client who is a Taurus, and you shared their data with me, and I took a look at their chart, and they not only had Sun in Taurus, they had Mars and Jupiter in Taurus as well,
Wow.
which I found to be very interesting. And on top of that, this person, because Venus rules Taurus, their Venus was retrograde in Aries. So this is a person that's, it can be very, active, but can also struggle with, um, just finding grounding, just finding grounding because, they're kind of amped up, they're very energetic. So I want you to talk about your clients' main issues and challenges. What was going on with them when you decided to work together?
So it's funny that you talk about that Aries and her you said when retrograde or that's her.
Her Venus is in Aries. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's funny you said that because this client is very movable. She moves a lot.
Hmm.
That's kind of how her exercise
Yeah.
or her mental reset is in movement.
Hmm. Okay.
So she's retired now, so she's finding things to do that she didn't have time to do. So it's funny you said that. But to answer your question, my lovely client, as you stated, Taurus rules over in the neck and the vocal cords. And I did more research and found it's also the thyroid. They have thyroid gland issues as well that came up in my research. And so with that, and again, as you stated, that's also the throat chakra. We worked on her sugar intake, number one.
So was that her main issue? Sugar, like
changing, like overall, changing some of her habits and making more healthier choices. And because she drank coffee a lot and had like carbonated drinks a lot. Mm-hmm. And so that was like the main thing I'm working with her to, to decrease and having very low moderation. And so again, that's the sugary drinks, and which we'll talk about. Those are one of the things that are on the list to avoid. Mm-hmm. Is caffeine and carbonated drinks.
Right.
But if that's your sweet tooth, that's part of your sweet tooth intake, which also is a part of something that runs in the family. So that's another, challenge that we're working with. It's not something that's just, part of her astrology, but it's part of the genetics, hereditary. So we started off with learning about all the white sugars and what's in that, and learning that the real sugar is the raw cane sugar. Mm-hmm. So that's really what white sugar is based from. It's just stripped of the color, which is also the nutrients. So we switched from the white sugar to the raw sugar.
Let me stop you for a minute because I wanna kind of unfold this.
Okay.
Because Taurus sometimes doesn't like to be challenged.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, when you were working with this person, what changes were they ready to make? Like I know you said like the caffeine, increasing the caffeine use, things like that. Was there any resistance to that originally, or?
It was some resistance. It was because we're used to, again, food and the things that we intake, drinks, we are so ingrained, into having those things that comfort us. And you mentioned again about Taurus, the things that they need to comfort them. Mm-hmm. So the coffee and the carbonated drinks or the sugary snacks and foods, those are comforts for this Taurus. Mm-hmm. So with that particular challenge, it was something that was needed to happen medically, physically. Uh-huh. So those are definitely the number one reasons why we had to work together.
Okay.
But definitely patience and persistence.
Yeah, those are two very, like Taurus is very patient. It is a very patient sign, and it is very persistent, but it doesn't like changes imposed on it.
Yes.
It needs to come to the awareness of needing to make change on its own. And I'll get to some of the transits that will kind of nudge Taurus into making changes, but we'll talk about that a little later. But you mentioned medical, the need to make changes based on, I guess, a medical issue. Is that something you can share, or what exactly?
Well, with the medical, it's borderline diabetes.
Okay.
So it was a warning.
Right.
So when I have clients who get those type of warnings, most times it's sugar. The insulin can't process the sugar within the food that we eat. So it needs help. So when you get that warning, that's number one. Let's change the sugar. So all the white sugars, the stevias, the Splendas, what's the other sugars out there? Sweet and low, all of those, those fake sugars. Mm-hmm. Those are all chemical, put together, made up sugars, to all compensate and go back to what? The brown sugar, the raw cane sugar. Yeah. So that's something that I've been focused on and persistent with. And that's what those results have went really well. So we moved from the raw sugar. Now we're into the agave.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How were those changes received by your client? You're literally like stepping them down from refined sugar to more natural forms.
Yes.
How did they receive those changes?
Good, because I provided the knowledge and the tools in which I give all my clients. Is always I give, and that's part of the coaching part. Mm-hmm. And when you sign up to work with me, you get that. You get the tools, you get the knowledge. You go in with like, oh, this is what I'm to look for when I go food shopping, grocery shopping. So with that in hand, which also Taurus likes factual facts. They like proof in hand, sight seen.
That's right.
So when I present this type of the choices that are more healthy choice in sugars, then that's what went over really well.
That's very important, because Taurus is very much grounded in the five senses. It's not interested in abstract ideas. It's not interested in, philosophical conversation. It wants, the five senses address the sight, the sound, the taste, the smell, the touch. So you're absolutely right. Factual information definitely appeals to Taurus.
And then also I also added not just the factual part, but like, if I'm making a particular recipe with sugar in it, then, because I know I know what the Taurus likes as far as like, the sugar snacks. And so that was another evidence, hard factual evidence, taste this, mom, and so that went over really well as well.
So they were involved in some of the food prep, meal prep work too? Is that?
Yeah, okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what about clients? Because you mentioned mom, so it's...
Yeah, she knows.
I can bring it in there because you've been there.
Yes,
so,
mom knows.
So what about clients that aren't mom? That, how do you go about working with them on meal prep? Like, is there any coaching that you do to kind of give them a sense of what you're doing, how you're doing it, so when they decide to do some of the work on their own, they're not struggling?
So they get step by step, and that's when we do like the virtual cooking sessions together. We can do step by step, and I give them a recipe with step by step instructions. And if they, have a oopsie, I've always told my clients, feel free to give me a call. I'm not sure what to do. Can you help me? And I'm available to help you. I'll help you. I can talk you through it. If I'm not, visually able to see you and talk to you through it. So yeah, they get the coaching sessions and cooking sessions with me to help them go step by step. And I also do my own lives in my kitchen too, with recipes that I want to prepare. And so I'll do like Tasty Tuesday or Thirsty Thursday. You know, I make up different themes for the days of the week. And, you know, I also, like I said, post lives on Instagram. And, you know, people can follow me as well. And I'm there for you, you know.
Yeah. You have a very lively Instagram page for, you know, for your vegan life coaching and meal expertise.
Thank you.
A wide range of things. You know, I've used your, you know, use your services as well, and we'll do another episode on CBD infused, you know, oils and foods and things like that for people who have chronic pain. But Taurus is not that person or that sun sign, so excuse me. But we'll talk about that in the context of another sign like Capricorn tends to have a lot of pain, chronic pain, like bone pain, joint pain, things like that. So we'll do something around that when Capricorn rolls around. So what I want to shift to, before I shift to it, I want to ask you one last question about your client. How are their sugar levels since you worked with them? Have they come down?
They improved. They have improved. And I'm working on now the next level of shift from the agave to try monk fruit, because monk fruit sugar is starting to trend in the markets, and you know, visually on commercials, I'm starting to see more advertisement for monk fruit. But monk fruit is very good for those who are challenged with diabetes because it has a 0 glycemic index level, and so those are the things that doctors check for in your sugar.
Glycemic
you get that up. That's your glycemic levels.
Yeah.
And then there's 0 calories, and anybody who's on a keto diet is keto friendly, you know, and it's good for people no matter what type of lifestyle or eating, diet, whatever, anyone can have it. So it's good for you. It's actually a fruit that stems from Asia. So it's an Asian fruit. So it's wonderful, and they have 2 different versions of monk fruit. So they have golden, which looks like raw sugar, and they have the white, they're what they call the original, which looks like white sugar. So that's an easy way to transition anybody from visually, because you talked about Taurus, visually, your eyes, they can transfer from that sugars easily.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of taste.
It's always a matter of taste.
Yes. Yes.
Please don't come for me, Taurus. I love y'all, but
yes, we do. We love you.
Don't come for me.
This is just how it is. It is what it is, you know.
Just giving information. That's all.
Yes.
You know, when you rile the bull up, they coming for you.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not trying to rust. I don't want no bulls coming for me.
We just want y'all to be healthy bulls.
We want you to be healthy. We
Yes.
want you to be around for a long time. We don't want y'all to get diabetes and all the things that go with, you know, that come along because of diabetes. You're losing limbs, you're losing your eyesight, all the things that help you be, you know, to touch, feel, see, smell.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't come for us because we telling y'all to not do all that sugar. So I really appreciate you sharing that sort of case study about your client. And I think that people need to book some consults with you right away. If they're struggling with sweet tooth, you need to hit up Vegan Chef Callie. You need to do that.
Yes.
Eat2thrive.life. You heard me.
Yes. I battle with that too. I have a sweet tooth too. It's a comfort thing for me as well, and I get it. And as a woman, on top of that, as a woman, Sugary snacks are our comfort.
Yeah.
Emotional comfort, whatever, however we feeling emotionally, sugar snacks are our comfort. So I get that part of Taurus. I really do.
Yeah.
And so it was fun to work and continue working with, because I get and I understand that logic, that connection.
Yeah.
And food can be addictive, as we know. Food can be very addictive. Yeah. But it's all in how our relationship, because it's energy. Food is energy. So our relationship with food, would dictate our relationship with everything around us.
Yeah. And just to be, I just want to clarify that we all, those of us who know our natal charts, we all have a house that has Taurus prominent. And so those issues around, needing a plan, building, wanting the facts and not being interested in all that philosophy and debate and all that shows up in the house where Taurus is. So, for instance, I have Taurus on the 11th house cusp. So as far as my friends go, like, I attract people who are very, like, matter of fact. And those people are very supportive of me. And so I have to remember when I'm dealing with them to not expect all these philosophical debates. It's not a bad thing. It's just I have to find that from other people.
Yeah.
But as far as like their support, they're loyal, they're gonna show up. It just might take them a little longer to show up because Taurus takes time.
You ain't never lied about that.
Yeah. A little late.
It's okay. I'm a little late.
I'm running late.
I
don't know a Taurus who's on time. I never met a Taurus who can be on time. And so I have to like adjust my, my thinking and my expectations. They move slow and they're going to take their time, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So,
yeah.
They have good food, good conversation. They take care of you. A lot of them are oftentimes good with their hands. They grow things. Whatever they touch, they manifest growth. Now, some of them don't want to let it go when it's, when they don't, they will grow and grow and grow. Everything, they don't want to let go of nothing.
Yeah.
So that's the downside. So I want to spend some time talking with you about things that Taurus in general can do in terms of changing their habits right now. So the first question for you is what can they do to avoid like mucus, like throat issues, issues that, things that dry out the throat? What can they do? What can they take? What can they drink? What can they eat to, actually, no. What do they need to avoid other than the sugar? What do they need to avoid?
All right. So I want to put real quickly that disclaimer that I am not a doctor,
right?
Licensed physician. So
right.
All the opinions that are being stated right here as far as health and coaching, vegan coaching tips is from opinion, research facts, self-taught, as well as holistic health coaching classes. So, that's my knowledge base.
Yes.
So
mine as well. I put a disclaimer to cover both of us in the YouTube stream.
Okay.
We are not medical professionals. We are not doctors. We're not nutritionists, registered dietitians. My knowledge comes from self-study. Kylie's expertise comes from self-study, working with clients over the years, learning through experience. But we are not here to diagnose things. We're not here to, so if you have an issue that you need medical attention, you need to go see your doctor. And then
come see us.
Right, and then come see us.
Yes.
So go to your doctor first, and then don't come to us. Talk talk about my thyroid, I can feel it when I I don't want to hear that. I mean, I do, but I'm going to tell you, have you called your doctor?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Now we got that out the way.
Yes. So, because those things that we talk about, Taurus rules in the neck, vocal cords, and thyroid. So the things we want to, the major, and I want everybody who's watching to please, if you don't already have a pen and paper, to have a pen and paper so you can take notes, because a lot of information is going to be dropped. Okay? And you can also, again, schedule a call with me so we can talk further. But the major number one thing to avoid excess mucus is spicy foods. I know. Foods? Yes, spicy foods can give you excess mucus. It's okay to have mucus. Having mucus is good.
Take my glasses off of that. Wait a
minute. I know.
So how does that? I mean, so like I like hot Cheetos, but I'm not a Taurus, so I don't.
Hot Cheetos, the Cheetos in the bag with the tiger. No, with the tiger.
Huh?
Those type of Cheetos.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to talk anymore. You already know the answer to that one. It's spicy and it has dairy. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Left, right punch.
Yes.
Okay.
So fried those hot Cheetos, Taurus.
Yes. But eat in moderation.
Okay, moderation. So instead of 1 bag a day, maybe 1 bag every few days.
Yes. Less is more.
Less is more.
Yes. Fried foods. Especially people, black and brown people. We love our fried food.
So how does that affect the throat? How does it affect
it creates the mucus in the throat.
Okay.
So then there's excess mucus. If you're a singer, if you're someone who speaks a lot, that causes issues and you have to dry it out now or clear it out. And most times we're doing something else on top of that to clear that out. When we just have to remember to not have that fried food platter before we are about to do a speaking engagement.
So no fried chicken.
Fried fish, no
shrimp platters?
No. Not when you're about to speak.
Okay.
Or you're about to sing. Or again, in moderation.
Right. Got it.
High meats and citrus. Now, when we talk about high meats, we mean the fatty meats. And we mean the beefs, pork, chicken. Those are the high meats. And
so
citrus.
Let me stop you for a minute.
Yes.
You're vegan.
Yes.
I try very hard to be plant-based. I don't eat any of the things that you ticked off. But what about, how hard is that for someone who likes beef or likes pork or likes chicken? Like, is it worth it to clear out the mucus in your throat? To give up beef and chicken and pork?
It is worth it because it's your health. And again, everything in moderation. I'm not saying quit cold turkey if that's what you choose. That's your choice. It will do your body some good. But then anything that you're used to eating and your body is used to processing, quitting cold turkey, I would never suggest.
Okay.
But everybody to each his own. There's good and pros and cons to that. So if you're going to eat meat, if you're going to have that burger you ain't had in a while, you have a taste for it, you want to satisfy a comfort, then I will always suggest doing some fruit in the morning, have a juice or a smoothie.
Yes.
Or have a salad before that burger.
Okay. All right, that's fair. for your health, Taurus, give up the beef, pork, and chicken. Not right away, not all at once, but just gradually,
eat less
of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as we go through the other sun signs, there are reasons why meats are hard to digest. And they also create situations in the bloodstream. And there are other sun signs that rule the bloodstream and, other signs that rule the digestive tract, the stomach, all those things. Trying to digest meat, starts here, but the digestion starts here with the mouth, but it goes all the way out to the end. So it's not just good for what we're talking about today, which is mucus reduction, keeping that throat healthy, but it's so good to just eat less of it for all the other things. Is that right?
That is right, because your body, it takes a lot for your body to process beef, number one, let alone pork, chicken, turkey, and fish, whatever. But it takes a lot for your body to process meat in general, because it has, like you said, like we have to chew it. We got to break it down, and our saliva is part of that mechanism to break it down. It's like a compost. You know what I mean? When we take our, leftover fruits and vegetables or whatever, and we put it in the dirt, we need the insects to break that down. So the composting starts, and it breaks down basically all the sugars, all the fibers, the skins, and all of that breaks down to the dirt, which makes our dirt more pH level, picks it up to pH level, which I don't know if people knew that. But when it's talk about the body, our enzymes and our saliva breaks it down, then in the throat and everything. But then, if we want to add in those sauces, those gravies we like, those things we eat with the steak, those butters, those oils, then that creates more work to digest.
The body.
Yeah. And that's why you get that lethargic feeling. We call it the itis. That's your body shutting down to process your food. That's what's really going on.
The itis.
The itis.
We have to do a show on the itis.
Yeah.
How to avoid itis.
Yes, people be like in mid, and it's.
We don't want people passing out to the itis. We don't want that. We want everybody to be awake and alert and present.
Yes. Yeah. That's why people be all asleep and itis at Thanksgiving.
I know.
Because it's something in that turkey.
They trying to digest.
They put it in that turkey and everybody be like punch drunk.
Yeah, it's a lot. We ask our bodies for a lot.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I want to read this affirmation that came through today. And then we'll get back to talking more about things that Taurus can avoid. Okay. I got this today. My body is a projection of my soul and beliefs.
Ooh. Wow.
And I was like, the timing is perfect to talk about Taurus today, because our bodies reflect back to us the choices that we make and the things we believe about what's good for us and what's not. Yeah.
And if your body is not feeling good because of diet or whatever issues, mental, emotional, like you said, all the sites, if those are not balanced, so our whole life, we attract that energy.
Yeah.
As they say, a liking to a liking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else that Taurus should avoid?
Yes. So we talked about the caffeinated drinks. Mm-hmm. So those are definitely, because they dry out your throat. So anything that dries out your throat. Now I didn't mention citrus. Now we talk about avoiding citrus, but it's funny to avoid it because some of the citruses are good for us, like the vitamin C's that we need. Limes are good, for our waters because they help us to alkaline our body, or lemons, So there's certain citruses that are good for our body and give us the nutrients that we need. But again, if we overdo it, overindulge in citruses, it can cause the mucus and clogging up the throat. There are some people who are allergic. You know, they can't have too much lemonade, too much lime, you know, so that causes, again, your throat to, to close up and swell up and you get the mucus.
Okay.
So stay away from the caffeinated drinks because they dry up the throat. Sodas and drinks are included in that. And chocolate.
Not chocolate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, chocolate is on the list. It's considered a diuretic.
Really?
But
so that makes sense because caffeine is also considered a diuretic. So,
right.
And they're closely related, chocolate, caffeine, because caffeine comes
right, because it comes from the cacao tree.
Right. Yeah.
And so, and that's broken down. They're like, well, how does coffee and chocolate? Yeah, they take it and they do what they need to do with it. They roast the coffee. But there's certain chocolates though, because we talked about sugary treats and we talked about, Taurus liking the sugary treats. Now, for those particular suggestions, I would suggest doing dark chocolate. It is more healthier.
Okay. Not the milk chocolate.
Exactly, not the milk chocolate. And definitely not a Kit Kat, almond bar, none of those, those M&Ms. No, that's the toxic.
Dang.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
You just taking all the fun out of life.
You can have fun now eating them, but you may need medications later. So it's either now or later.
But like you said, moderation.
Yeah, definitely moderation. Dark chocolate is the best.
Yeah.
Healthier, more nutrients is in that dark chocolate. And if you can get because if you notice, they'll tell you now how much cacao is in your chocolate on your bar. They'll say 70% cacao, 80%, 90%. So the higher the percent of cacao on your chocolate, the healthier it is actually. And sweeter because it's a natural sweetener.
Yeah. Whoa, this list is getting long, my friend.
I know. And then last but not least, make sure you stay hydrated. Keep that throat hydrated.
How much water should Taurus be drinking?
Well, if we're 95% water as a body as a whole anyway, they say you should drink at least 8 glasses of 8-ounce water a day.
So at least 4 ounces.
Yes, at least. And that does include herbal tea. Coffee is on the list. I know we got coffee drinkers. So if you have 1 cup of coffee a day, one. So think about which one you want to have that either morning or night, middle of the day, whatever. One coffee a day that goes into your part of your 8-ounce of water.
Okay.
Tea, if you have herbal tea, that's also included in your water intake.
Right.
So yeah, definitely at least 8 glasses of 8 ounce, at least 8 ounces of water.
So 8 glasses of water a day, at least. That's the minimum.
That's the minimum.
Right.
A lot of people should be drinking a gallon of water.
Yeah.
Really, you should be drinking at least a gallon to 2 gallons of water a day. At least. Depending on your diet. And your lifestyle,
Yeah. So you mentioned, go ahead.
Those are the things, and like you mentioned also, exercise. Exercise is very important. So those are the three things. Those are the three things. Avoid foods that give you the excess mucus. Avoid foods or things that dry out your throat. Alcohol is included because that can dry your throat out. Alcohol is included. But there's always ways that you can hydrate your throat if you're going to have alcohol. Mix it with a juice. Have it on ice. That way you'll have the ice. So you drink, mix it with a juice, preferably a fruit juice. Like pineapple is
fruit juice. You have to avoid that. So how do you?
I know.
All right. Well,
I know. It's a challenge because when you go out, it's a challenge to you have to think about these things when you go out, like what foods, what things to drink. So I always suggest to a client is to check out the menu.
Yeah, check the menu out.
Check the menu out. They have to list what ingredients are in your dish, what ingredients is in your drink. If it's not listed, you are welcome to ask. You have the choice. This is your body. You have the choice to say, what's in this? You can ask. It's okay.
Yeah.
And if not willing to tell you, then I wouldn't service this, the location, the restaurant.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you also in your notes to prepare for this episode, you mentioned herbal remedies, vitamins, supplements, coconut oil, and our favorite apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
So tell me about why those ended up on the list.
So those things help you hydrate. Apple cider vinegar, those are pros and cons to it. A lot of people say yay. A lot of people say don't overindulge. Some people say don't do it. It's all what's best for your body, but I always suggest, because apple cider vinegar, any vinegar is a cleanser. So why not have that in your water? So if you have lemon and some apple cider vinegar in your water, apple cider vinegar, a lot of people clean with it. They put it on their body, makes, skin rubs with it. It's a cleanser. So it helps your body cleanse what's toxic and put back in. Vinegar is amazing. And it puts back in what it needs. Mm-hmm. So basically, apple cider vinegar is the pH level balancer and a cleanser.
Gotcha. So Taurus, if you want your skin looking like a newborn baby.
Yes. Mix apple cider vinegar and red clay.
Yeah.
Mix those two together and put it on your face. It's amazing.
Get that skin summer ready. It's coming, y'all.
Yep. Yes. Apple cider vinegar is amazing.
Finish exfoliating. You can get some coconut oil and moisturize. But I know that's not why you put it on the list, so I'm just gonna shut my mouth. Why did coconut oil end up on the list?
Because it's a medium. It's part of the chain of fatty acids. It helps better function your thyroid gland.
Okay.
So coconut oil basically coats. And beauty products use coconut oil. Food products use coconut oil. It's best raw. I don't suggest to cook it because can I? Yes.
You checked me a while back.
Don't be cooking that coconut oil.
You were like, I only infuse, what'd you say, organic, unrefined?
Yes.
Like, look, I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
And it's okay. And this is part of learning. And this is what I love to do. Like, I love to give people the knowledge because we don't know. These things we're not taught. You know what I mean? you do have to go out there and seek the knowledge, because they will pull the wool over our eyes in a minute. Because we're consumer based. We are a consumer based society.
Right.
And what you tell me on TV or what's in the paper or whatever you marketing, however you market, I'm going to believe it. Why? Because you've been out for years. You've been on the show. I know you got a story with my family or with other people I know. We have history. There we go. History.
Yeah.
With different products, which is fine. But these are also the same reasons why some of us have the comfort in sugary snacks and carbonated drinks and coffee and stuff. And, you know, just in general, our food, you know, we consume because we become addicted to it because we're used to it. We have history.
Right.
So coconut oil is amazing. And so the unrefined is just that. It's unrefined. So that means it wasn't taken through a process to cultivate it.
Right.
So when we talk about refined, that means it was taken, the process, again, with that white sugar, the brown sugar turned into white sugar. That's what coconut oil is. Unrefined versus refined.
Yeah.
The refined is the white sugar. Unrefined is the brown, the raw.
And
so that's why I suggest
nutrients. The less something is refined, it has more of the nutrients, good stuff that we need. Right.
Right. Because coconut oil helps us in our metabolism. It helps us lose weight. Yeah. Coconut oil is amazing. You can put it on your gums, what they call a gum cleanser and gum pulling. So it's good for your gums. Coconut oil is a good, like you said, conditioner I put it on my scalp, you know. And then for the summertime, I add coconut oil and shea butter together. That is my natural sun, not moisturizer, but sunblock.
Okay. Nice.
So coconut oil is amazing. It, like I said, it increases your metabolism. It balances out your body temperature. Hence why it's in a lot of beauty cosmetics.
Okay. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So we got apple cider vinegar. We know why we need to be using that.
Yes.
Pay attention, Taurus. Write this down.
Yes. Take notes.
Take notes, Taurus. You know why y'all should be using coconut oil. What about vitamins, supplements, and herbal remedies? You had a few of those that you recommended that Taurus should be taking.
Okay. I believe I mentioned ginger. Eat ginger. We know it's good to, you know, when you have a cold, you know, to put ginger in your tea. But it's
throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why, because it's rich in essential vitamins and minerals like potassium and magnesium. So you want that in your throat to strengthen your throat, you know, so you can do that talk, you know, that TED talk, or you can speak to those children, like whatever your profession is. If you're using your throat a lot, you definitely want to incorporate more ginger into your life, whether it's a tea, eating ginger in a smoothie, getting it juiced, you know, and your food. There's a lot of Asian food that, you know, add ginger in. You know?
Love it.
And if you put it with the coconut oil, guess what? It's good for inflammation together. Do that rub.
Oh. Wow. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I wanted to talk about real quick was neck stiffness. And, you know, when I was looking in my astrology text, my medical astrology textbooks, you know, one of the things that was mentioned was neck stiffness. So not just the inside of the neck, the structures in the neck, but the muscles that support the neck. So you're saying you mix those two together, make it like natural Ben Gay type song?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And you can put those, like, you can put like, because they do like ginger oils, or you can do like a ginger root powder. I put ginger root powder in my juice. Actually, I did some juicing. So this is a beet juice.
Oh, love it. Yummy.
So it's beet, celery, cucumbers, carrots, apple, carrot, oranges, and some ginger.
Okay.
Because I knew I was going to talk today, so I wanted my throat to be, ready to speak. So yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful information. And then you also talked about neck muscles. Another thing that's good for information for you as well as Taurus, this herb called marshmallow root.
Tell us about that. What is that?
So marshmallow root is used for pain and swelling of the mucous membranes.
Oh, okay.
So in your respiratory tract, your sinuses, all of that, marshmallow root tea, or you can do marshmallow root in a capsule. You can make your own capsules. They have, herb stores. You can make your own capsules. It also, the chemical within the marshmallow root helps decrease your cough and heal wounds.
Allergy season.
Yes.
I have a cough right now.
Right.
Because I have the window open and it's just been pollen everywhere.
Yeah.
So
marshmallow root, like a marshmallow root tea would be good for you.
Okay.
Now, if you can do if you have like a ginger, I have a tea in here by Trader Joe's. It's the ginger turmeric lemon, I believe, tea. Mm-hmm. So I drink that again for throat.
Okay.
Because I talk a lot, and just to keep my immune system up.
Yeah.
And and for inflammation too.
Okay. Love it. That's great. Anything else?
Yes, I got a whole list for you.
Well, let's
next. Vitamin B. Vitamin B.
Okay.
Okay.
So vitamin.
Yes. So vitamin B for you and for Taurus. The whole B vitamin, B1, B2, B12s, all of that. So that helps with the proper thyroid function.
Okay.
And so you can also find B12s in like legumes, the beans, lentils, fish, and nut-based milks like almond, cashew, not oat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. When they say nut, they mean nut-based. Cashew, almond, and coconut. Those are good.
Okay.
For vitamin B. Vitamin D is the other supplement.
Okay.
So we all know about vitamin D, getting some vitamin D outside in nature and the sun, but it's also within salmon. If you are into dairy, they say vitamin D is in the dairy.
But we don't want to do that, right? Because we're trying to get rid of the mucus in our
right.
So
exactly. Stay away from cow's milk. Stay away from cow's milk when you have an excess mucus or a throat issue. Stay away from cow's milk.
Right.
If you do any milk, make it a nut-based milk, not oat, but like almond, coconut, cashew. If you have to do a milk with throat issues, I would always suggest not to. No dairy when you have throat issues.
Right.
But vitamin D, and mackerel. Another thing, mackerel. You can get vitamin D from mackerel.
Salmon and mackerel.
Mm-hmm. Orange juice. We already know about orange juice.
Right.
And another thing on the list is eat or drink almonds.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about that.
So almonds are rich with protein, fiber, and essential minerals and vitamins. So almonds are amazing for those three. They give you the antioxidants as well, and you got the complex carbohydrates. So when we talk about not eating the bread and the pasta. Supplement it with almonds.
Okay.
Now, the trick with almonds is they're good, raw with no salt, no sugar, no honey roasted.
No.
It's defeating the purpose.
No, I'm not giving you my honey roasted almonds.
You want raw almond. No sugar on it. Raw almond.
But that doesn't give me pleasure.
I'm so sorry.
What about
you can have pleasure now.
What about almond?
Or later.
What?
Pleasure now or pleasure later.
I mean, I'm just saying, you taking all the out of life.
Well, guess what? If you need some help with those almonds, have some dark chocolate.
Oh yeah. There you go. That's a snack. Taurus.
Yep. Some dark chocolate. There's a candy brittle made out of dark chocolate that has almonds in it. And it's wonderful. So for those who need a sugary snack that's a little more a healthier choice, it's called bark fin. Bark fin. Like bark is a dog, fin, THIN.
Okay.
And they make this bark fin. It's like a thinner version of a Hershey's chocolate bar, but you'll have almonds in it.
That sounds tasty.
It is. It's amazing. It's my go-to.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's a wonderful alternative. Beans. We all know beans are a powerhouse of nutrients. Beans, Taurus. You gotta add more beans into that diet for that fiber and protein.
Taurus is like, I don't like beans.
Well, you like chili, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do like chili.
Well, there you go. What about baked beans?
Baked beans?
Yeah.
Are they sweet with like all?
We can sweeten them up. We can do that.
You gonna put some butter in them beans?
Yup, we can put some vegan butter in them beans. But we all know they're high in fiber and they help with constipation.
Yes. Which is for Virgos. I'm a Virgo, solar Virgo. We struggle with that. So we love Virgos like beans. Taurus does not like beans. Everybody likes to say all the earth signs are the same. We're not the same.
Well, I meet that challenge with any Taurus who does not like beans. I make a mean Mexican-inspired chili with quinoa and beans. And if I can get my Taurus client who does not like different texture food to try, you can try that too.
Yeah.
So yes, if you'd like to have that recipe, book a call with me and we can talk about that recipe.
That's right. Book a call. Get on that website, Eat to Thrive. Eat the number 2 Thrive.life. It's in the description box. When you're watching it on the replay on YouTube, it's in the description box, as well as links to all of Callie's, her Cash App, and, hook a sister up. She giving us information.
Thank you.
This is valuable information that is designed to heal the health issues that Taurus deals with, and by extension, all of us. We're talking about soulistic wellness. So mind, body, and soul wellness. Healing the mind, the body, and the soul. That's what this is all about. This is what we're doing together to really get people hooked in. Because Black people love to talk about their sun signs. I'm a Taurus. I'm a Libra. Okay, Taurus.
But you're more than just your sun.
You're always more.
Yes.
But we are all striving towards our sun. So we're subconsciously expressing our moon, which could be a different sign. But if you're a solar Virgo, like in my case, you're aiming towards this ideal of service. And for Taurus, solar Taurus is really reaching for how to, live an abundant life, but balanced, not just, accumulating stuff just to be like, look at all the stuff I got. And part of that is being healthy. And so eliminating that which is not helpful to you, the best person that you can be to get all those things that you want. So that's my little PSA.
Yes. We really need to have a call with Miss Tishka, Truthseeker here, Astrology.
Yes.
I go to her for my guidance and, with my astrology and my natal chart and everything, and just guidance on when to do things, how to do it, like what's a good time to, plan life that's important to me, like this business, and when to do a webinar, when to, anything that's going to propel me to the next level. I come to you, for that advice, and she is amazing, amazing, amazing. So please book a call.
Book a session.
Yes, book a session.
You can do it now, and I just wrote this out today. I upgraded my online booking site. If you go to book Truthseeker Astrology, all one word, book truthseekerastrology.com, you can book a session. You can buy your friends and family gift cards that they can use to purchase their own readings. And you can make donations to the cause to help us grow this podcast project. So go to truthseekerastrology.com for everything. And then you can come see me.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you. Because we need this now. We need this more than ever.
Yes, we do. We do.
Because we know this, I call it pandemic, was opened the door for a lot of things, a lot of healing to take place. You know what I mean? It took all of this to basically just take off the mask. Let's be real. Let's be who we are in front of each other. You know what I mean? And so this time is really about looking at those shadows, working on your natal chart, knowing what your sun, your moon, your Venus, your Jupiter, because we're all those planets in one.
Right.
And, our energies are governed from each one of those. So how we relate to each other,
yes,
because that's what our, life is about, social relationships. It's important to know what your natal chart is so you know how to socialize. And why do I feel that way? Why do I think this way? Why do I operate this way? Why do I like the foods that I like?
Right.
And so, it's important.
All in there.
Yeah.
And we can figure out what we're here to do.
Yeah.
What our destiny is, what our purpose is, and take the necessary steps to get there, to shed some things that aren't helping us, and to pick up some new tools to do, I'm hearing an echo.
They say this age of Aquarius, honey. It's time for newness.
That's it.
New way of thinking, a new way of living, a new way of eating, I'm not trying to change nobody's diets. It's just, let's start with baby steps. One change at a time.
Right.
What they say, it takes 7 to 14 days to change, to make a habit or change a habit. Yeah, try that.
Yeah.
And this is what I suggest to my new clients is let's go on this journey together. And as you go on this journey together, to journal the foods that you try that's new. Journal how your body feels before and after eating it, and see where you are in a month.
That's a powerful tool. Journaling.
Yeah. And how you feel if you eat this or drink this, and you can try all these different tools, that I've been dropping on, on this live today. It's for everyone,
Yeah.
not just for the Tauruses, but you know.
Actually, we picking on y'all Taurus, so
We love y'all. We love y'all.
we want
Yeah.
Taurus to be healthy because
Yes.
Taurus has a very specific set of issues that can really weigh it down if they're
Yeah.
not, if they're not checked. And speaking of which, I know there are two other things on your list that we didn't get to. You had
Yes.
seeds on the list, and you had iodine supplements. So
Yes.
those helpful for Taurus.
Okay. So flax seeds, we know it's good. They're rich in good fatty acid as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good for the heart as well as your thyroid. So flax seeds, and what makes them hardy is the omega-3.
Okay.
Omega-3, 6, and 9 nutrients that's in flax seeds, which we know we talk about fish oil for our omega-3s and 9s. So that's what flax seeds represents.
Okay.
The fatty acids. Little good things that we can get. So we don't, for like me, I'm not a, big salmon consumer, so I compensate for flax seeds. I use flax seeds in my smoothies. It's an acquired taste because it does have, so people put on their yogurt, or, whatever. To each his own. I like it in my smoothie. But at least, flax seeds definitely incorporate that, and it helps with the thyroid and the production of the thyroid hormones, because, it's all a muscle in there,
Yeah.
They're rich in magnesium as well as B12, vitamin B12.
Okay. And you talked about those.
Yeah.
According to both of those.
Yeah, they're very important. Your body will tell you when you are low on B vitamins. You'll get, they call it lethargic and tired. You'll feel like really tired, really drained. And no matter what you do, your energy levels are just really zonked. You're low in magnesium. Most times you're low in magnesium or B12 or the vitamin B family. Yeah. So that's why we say, go to your doctor, get all your checkups.
Yes.
See where you are on your levels of vitamin and nutrients. They can tell you that when they take your blood.
Right.
Another one to introduce more to your body is the iodine, which you mentioned, the iodine supplements. Mm-hmm. So what I suggest to clients is green beans, kale, spring greens, watercress, strawberries, organic red potatoes.
Not white, red.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Potatoes are a mucus-based vegetable anyway. And that's the white potatoes. That's why I said red.
Oh. So eating white potatoes makes mucus?
More mucus than the red.
Got it. Okay.
So the Idaho potatoes, all those potatoes they sell us more in the market. Yeah. Stay away from those.
Okay.
As much as possible. Eat that in moderation. And we got the French fries. I know we got the home fries. I know all of that. But what I'm noticing in some restaurants, they're starting to do skin on the potatoes when they make their fries, which is very good. The skin is where the nutrients is anyway.
Yeah.
But if they're red potatoes, the nutrients in the red potatoes give us more of that magnesium, the potassium, and the iron, and the fiber that we need. So it counterbalances the potato being a mucus-based root vegetable.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
So I said the red. Seaweed.
Uh-huh.
Seaweed is another iodine supplement. Sea moss is another iodine supplement. Sea moss has 92 minerals and nutrients in it. We as human beings, we're supposed to have at least 102. That's what our body is supposed to have. 102 minerals and vitamins a day.
So the sea moss helps us get there.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, it is a trend right now. A lot of people are like sea moss, sea moss, sea moss. And it is a process in how you're supposed to properly produce sea moss, clean it, and all of that you're supposed to do. So you gotta watch that. A lot of people are, on a sea moss kick.
Doing it wrong? Are they doing it wrong?
Some people are. Some people are. Some people are. So when you get sea moss, the main question is, how do you process your sea moss? People from the islands, they already know how. So if they say they're from the islands, it's a good given. They know how to process it properly. But for people here in the United States who are now starting to sell sea moss a lot, because it is a trending thing now, because people are building their immune system. So sea moss is not supposed to be boiled.
Who's boiling sea moss out here?
There are some people who do boil it before they.
That?
Yeah.
Doing it. Stop doing that.
Stop boiling the sea moss. It kills the nutrients in this. It's a seaweed. It's a seaweed.
Right.
So if you cook it, you're killing everything. So that's defeating the process.
Yeah.
So what you're supposed to do is soak it and clean all the salt out of it. Soak it really good. Your sea moss is not supposed to have a salty taste to it. If it's salty, they didn't wash it enough. So once they wash it, thoroughly cleanse it. It's like when we do greens, we have to thoroughly clean our greens. We got to thoroughly clean our sea moss. And then they process it with water in a blender.
What kind of water? Should it be just tap water?
No, and that's another thing. People, they rinsing it with tap water.
Yeah.
No tap water. Again, you're defeating the purpose. You're putting the corrupt, toxic minerals from the tap water into my sea moss. So it should be filtered or distilled water.
All right, y'all heard that. Filtered or distilled.
So sea moss is an excellent iodine replacer. None of our salts have iodine in it any longer. They took it out back in, if I'm not mistaken, in the 80s, if not in the 70s. We haven't had iodine in our salt for a very long time.
Oh.
That's a major mineral. Why is that out?
Yeah, why would they take that out? We might have to do another stream.
That's another live for another day.
I didn't know that. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I do Himalayan sea salt, things like that. I don't really.
Right. So. And sea salt is good, but it doesn't have enough iodine in it.
Okay. So
that's why I suggest, if you're going to do a sea salt, I have a in my cabinet, which I put on my food, is a sea salt mixed with kelp, sea kelp.
Oh, okay. All right.
And there's one more I want to get to suggest to people, because it's from Trader Joe's and it's affordable. Okay.
Really stream.
So I have two salts here. Okay. So this one here.
What is it? What does it say?
So this is called furikake, which is norikomi. It's a Japanese multi-purpose seasoning.
Okay.
This is from Trader Joe's. And so within this salt here, it has in white sesame seeds, black sesame seeds. Black is always better. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nori, which is black seaweed. Again, salt in here, and kelp powder.
Okay.
From Trader Joe's.
Okay.
$1.99.
I was gonna say that. How much is that?
1.95 ounces.
Okay.
Excellent iodine replacer. Excellent.
Okay.
cheap, affordable replacement. And this is the organic seaweed salt. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is by Ocean's Halo.
Okay.
So it has seaweed and it's sea salt as well in it. So those are my iodine replacers.
Okay.
And then I eat a lot, buy seaweed snacks. They sell in the stores. So that's how I, get my iodine through seaweed and sea moss.
I love that. These are good recommendations.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm wondering is, does it take Taurus a little to have to adjust to the taste?
Yeah, it does. That's a work in progress with my client as well. Yeah. Because when we think about seaweed or anything from the sea, like sea salt is the best or the easier way to change that salt intake. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about seaweed and kelp and stuff like that, it's a little like, whoa. I'm not ready for that just yet. Yeah, right. And then again, because of the senses, as you mentioned, the nose smelling that, and so it's never want to make the mouth if it smells, So yeah. So with that, we work again. It's a work in progress, but it's another way of iodine you can get in. I do like the black sea salt, which is a Hawaiian. They have this Hawaiian-based salt, and it's black actually.
Oh, okay.
So that's another way you can get the iodine in it.
Got it. All right. So we've covered a lot of ground, but the only thing left to talk about is the importance of exercise and movement.
Yes. And that is the last thing on the list.
Yes. So talk a little bit about why that's important for Taurus to move around. I think for everybody, people need to be exercising.
Right.
Or at least moving around. In other words, not sitting for long stretches of time, because there's research that shows that it's not good for the body. I actually read something not too long ago that is actually worse than smoking a pack of cigarettes when you sit for too long. So imagine that sitting is worse than smoking cigarettes.
So if you're doing both,
you're in trouble.
Wow.
So you need to pick a struggle. Get up and move, or stop smoking, something. I mean, they're both bad for the body. That's the point. So you made some notes in the about exercise and preparing for today. You want to share what you wrote down?
Yes. So as we know, exercising helps us mentally, emotionally, physically, and as far as our health. We all know that. So if it's not something, if a lot of us, which a lot of us are, we're working from home, or if we are going into the office, whatever, we're sitting, as you stated, we're sitting for long periods of time. So I always suggest, if you do a movement, say if you're sitting, just like do your legs, just kick your legs up and down, you know what I mean? Flex your leg, as we do in Tai Chi. We roll our foot around 8 times to the left, and then we do 8 times to the right. So these little movements while you're sitting, for long periods of time, you can do. That's considered exercising, because you're moving your joints, because that's important to move your joints. If you're able to take at least 5 to 10 minutes for your mind, do a meditation. That's exercising your mind. For touch, if you have like a stress ball, do exercises, a stress ball. That not only works your muscles in your hands, your wrists, your arms, you're getting some movement because you're typing. So we got to do something else. So to get that, to get your bloodstream moving, as opposed to this way, downward, up, do a stress ball. There's other movements, like every now and then when I'm sitting, I do just get up and move your body, reposition your body. Anything to give you some kind of movement. And when you talk about your mind, again, take some time out to meditate. Listen to some music throughout your day that keeps you on a good vibration. You know what I mean? Happy, and smiling and thinking good, positive thoughts. All things. So if we're not physically moving, we're doing stuff to encourage and strengthen and help our minds go throughout the day while we're working. And then take a break. Yes, walk away to go fix yourself a tea, a herbal tea. To keep making sure that you're doing the work for your throat and hydrating it and moving those muscles and taking care of your muscles and your throat and your vocal cords. Because heat, anything with heat, gives us moisture, soothes the throat.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Instead of coffee, do a tea. Another movement we can do on your off days is take a walk around the community. If you have time in your day, take a short 15 minute walk.
Yeah.
If it's raining outside, if you have an outside deck or something attached to your home, go outside and take a good 10 to 15 minutes away. It's about exercising, not just the body, but your emotions and your mind. So however you can do that, I always suggest to implement something.
Got it.
Read a good book, a book that, a few pages of your book on a lunch break, or again, take a break if you can.
So this is all important, and this brings us this idea of exercise. So I want to wrap up the stream to talk about what Taurus can do to take advantage of the upcoming astrological transits. If they're interested in changing some things, there's some transits that are coming up right away that can, energize Taurus to, get moving, set some good intentions, and then, kind of, really just think outside the box about the things that it can do to change over time. So the first astrological transit is tonight at 9:55 p.m. EDT. Tonight, Venus shifts into Gemini. And why is that important? Because Gemini is an air sign. Gemini likes to be on the move, like to be on the go, very active. So Taurus, being a Venus ruled sign, can take advantage of that airiness of Gemini. And do like what you said, all the things that you said about moving the body, activating the mind through meditation, reading, all those things can really help motivate Taurus to make some changes. And I wrote down in my notes, it's a good time to start moving, around. But just to follow up on your point, not just moving around the body, but getting that mind moving too. Kind of getting some things unstuck here and here as well. So that's the first thing. Venus leaves Taurus and enters Gemini tonight, 9:55 p.m. And typically Venus stays in a sign, I don't know. Don't give me the line. I should know this. I'll put it in the chat or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Like 3 weeks or something. No, that's Mercury. Venus is, I think, maybe 6 weeks. I don't know. But while Venus is in Gemini, it's a good time for Taurus to get moving. Get the mind moving, get the body moving, get a little bit more social, get off that couch, and, get to it. Venus in Gemini is very social, very active, is curious. And it's just a good time for Taurus to just not only move, but just like do some reading on some of the things that we talked about, some of the topics that we talked about today. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing. The second thing, we're going to have a Taurus new moon on May 11th. So that's in a few days. I think it's Tuesday.
Tuesday, yep.
Tuesday at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now, if you're in another time zone, you're gonna have to adjust that 3:00 up or down based on where you are. But any new moon is a good time to set good intentions, right? To set your intentions for the new lunar cycle that hopefully manifests during the full moon. But for Taurus, this is a good time to set some positive intentions to make some good choices and to kind of get moving on them. So you'll have 2 weeks to kind of just get in the habit of trying something new, either walking more, trying something new in the diet, maybe trying meditation, and then in 2 weeks with the full moon, see how you feel. 2 weeks.
That's the challenge. 2-week challenge. That's a good challenge.
So starting with the Taurus new moon on May 11th, and then culminating with the full moon. I think the full moon is actually going to be in Sagittarius. So spend 2 weeks trying something new. Saying, okay, I am going to try kelp. I'm gonna try me some kelp. I know it's a stretch, but I think I can do it. If I could do like 1 day a week where I just do a little kelp, drink a little more water, and commit to walking a couple days a week, I want to see how I feel in 2 weeks. And I guarantee you will feel better and you will be motivated to make more choices.
Yes, you will. Yep.
So, on my Instagram, I follow the moon. I do these posts every time the moon changes signs. So if you follow my IG, Truthseeker Astrology on Instagram, you can keep up with what the moon's doing and how it's going to affect you, Taurus.
Yes, yes, yes.
The easiest thing to do for all of us is follow the moon. Follow what the moon's doing, which sign it's in. And it gives us a sense of what our moods are. So during those 2 weeks, as the moon moves from Taurus to Gemini to, Cancer and so on and so forth, see how you're feeling, what your mood is, what your physical energy is. And I guarantee you, by the time that full moon goes around, you'll be feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
And if not, I want you to tell me what you did and what you gave up on. And I don't want you coming at me talking about, well, I tried kelp and it didn't help. Kelp didn't help. And I'm like, well, how much kelp did you eat? Well, Tish, I only did it for 1 day.
This is not a miracle drug. Changing your diet is not a miracle drug.
I tried kelp, but I didn't like it. It was
yes. Well, then let's try something else. Let's try a sea salt. Everything is like we talked about for Taurus, but it's patience, being patient and persistent. Yes. Because with everything, again, it takes 7 to 14 days to change a habit, right?
And that's why I said the moon.
Yes.
It's a built-in measuring stick to help us keep up with change.
Yeah.
14 days is the full moon to the new moon, to the new moon, to the full moon. The moon never fails.
And it's magic in the moon.
What's that?
It's magic in the moon.
It's magic in the moon.
Yes.
Magic.
We look for the sun energy, but that moon energy.
Yep. So, that's why I mentioned the Taurus new moon. It's important for Taurus. In particular, it's important for all of us. But I think for Taurus, they can get a little bit of, extra push, that extra nudge, gentle lunar nudge to try something new, to set that intention. Now, I'm going to stick to this for 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, that's all.
And journal.
Journal during that
Journal
time.
about your journey. Yeah.
And you do a lot of that. You do a lot of journaling and reflection. I would love to hear you talk more about that in upcoming streams, because when we journal, we're getting what's here and here out on paper. And it's a good way to kind of get it out, because what Taurus tends to do is keep it inside. More than anybody, they need to get that out. Get it out.
Yes, they do. Oh my goodness. Love you, Tauruses, but yeah, it's hard to let go. Letting go it's a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got two things, and then the third thing is the Uranus transit through Taurus. And what does that mean? Taurus, y'all been hit upside the head since I think it was like 2019 when Uranus, the planet of sudden change, entered the sign of no, don't change me, you ain't gonna change me, no, 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 no. Well, Uranus going through Taurus is about awakening to the need for change. Things in life that you know you've been holding on to for too long, that you need to change. And during this time, Uranus goes through Taurus, and he's gonna be there for a while to 2026. So we just getting into it, y'all. This transit can help you figure out how to set aside resources to support your wellness journey. It can help other ways, and that really depends on you. So you want to know how this is affecting you, you know, book a session. But in general, if we're talking about health and wellness, one of the things that comes up is, how do I afford to do this? How do I do this in a way that's not going to hit me in my wallet? Like, I got to go out and get another bag for this kelp and seaweed and flaxseed and all. No, there are ways. There are ways that you can do this on a budget.
Yeah.
And that's why you need to book a session with my girl. And she can help you figure out ways to do this stuff on a budget. She knows how to hit up Trader Joe's to find the stuff that you need, and it won't hit you that hard. It won't hit you upside the head. But besides, if you're giving up the unhealthy things, then that gives you the resources to redirect to the good things. So the Uranus transit will help with that. It'll give you this sort of aha moments, like, that's why I'm having these problems. And then do the things to change it, namely finding the resources that could help you improve your health and wellness. So those are three things that I wanted to throw out there for Taurus that could help Taurus make these changes gradually, patiently, lovingly, with some persistence. And not, don't be having an attitude. I don't want to see y'all turning y'all nose up at the kelp. Don't, if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. Right? If you don't like it, if it smells if it stinks, don't eat it. You don't have to do everything, but do something.
Yeah. And I always suggest to clients who, are challenged with the sense of smell when it comes to food. I have a few people that I work with or in my life personally that we sniff or smell our food first. And if it doesn't smell, and I think we're going to talk about that with Geminis, they smell first. And if it don't, I'm not eating it. It may be good for me, but I'm not eating it because of smell. So what I do is, that's why I make smoothies. And so what I'll do is, for something that is a little of a challenge for me, taste-wise, I'll put something in that'll cover the taste.
Okay.
So if I'm doing like an elderberry sea moss smoothie, I'll put in mango. I'll put in I add coconut water to all my smoothies anyway for electrolytes, feed my body. But I'll put in all natural fruit juice or fruit, that's sweet to compensate, for the taste or anything else that I may not like. So I always suggest that for like my Taurus segments.
Got it. That's good to know.
Because kale, kale it's good for you, but taste wise, especially for the Taurus, it can be like, ugh.
Yeah.
So if you do a kale smoothie, or if you get a juice with kale in it, just ask them to put in an orange, juice of orange, or when you make a smoothie, put in some cut up some oranges. Red blood orange is the perfect orange cover for anything that may not taste good, like kale.
Yeah, I like doing pineapple with smoothies. It just gives you that sort of sweetness. And pineapple is good for you. So,
and they're amazing. Pineapples is amazing fruit to have for and that's the throat. Pineapples is an amazing cough syrup, the juice from pineapples.
Yes, love that.
Yeah.
So, any closing remarks? What are you working on these days? Where you go? I know you got on your website, you got some, well, no, that was last month. So what's coming up for you this month?
So this month, I am just working on different like crafts here in the house. Like I'm working with chocolate. So like when I perfect the recipe, I like to add on to it. So I did like mini donuts, vegan donuts. And so now I want to work on doing a vegan chocolate, so I can have a vegan chocolate donut.
That sounds so good.
Yeah. So it's this company that I work with or partner with. It's called Just Date Syrup. Okay. And so they partner with another company, the superfood. The company name is not Navastes, but they do cacao, and they give you the cacao nibs, so I can make chocolate with. So they partnered with somebody, with a company I already use, and so those two together collaborated together to make all the ingredients to make this vegan chocolate, basically. Okay. So I'm going to be practicing, working on that. The rest of this month is just enjoying life. My daughter has a birthday coming up, so getting ready for that. I'm helping a friend do some vending. So another Black business, they do a lot of clothing, accessories, and they're actually in Reading Terminal. They're called Amazulu.
Oh yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be vending, helping a friend vend with them for them. That's all that's in for May. May is just.
So how can people like keep up with the day-to-day journey?
My day-to-day, I call it shenanigans in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yes. So my Instagram page is at Vegan Chef Kali. That's VEGANCHEF Kali on Instagram. I also have a Facebook page that is my whole name, Kalachandra Taylor, and that's spelled KALICHANDRA Taylor on Facebook. Yes. And those are two pages that people can follow me on. I post, like I stated earlier, I post my live kitchen shenanigans, whether I'm preparing something for myself or for a client. Or I also have kitchen segments and sessions with Lady M, my partner, who also likes to cook in the kitchen with me. So, we'll do things in the kitchen together. She is my taste tester. And she also helps me think outside the box. Like, we encourage each other to think outside the box when it comes to food, because we both are foodies. She's more of a meat eater, not so much dairy. She's lactose intolerant. So her helping, even working with her, because she also has health issues too. So when we talk about cancer,
that's coming.
That's coming.
Y'all.
Yes. So she's a Cancer. So that's going to be very interesting live to talk about cancer and, their issues and whatever. So yeah, I work with her, as far as her diet and eating less meat. She definitely has noticed a difference in her diet and her body. She's lost weight. She's already thin, so we try and keep her at a certain weight. But she had a warning from her doctor.
Okay.
For her diabetes.
Okay.
She's already on high blood pressure medication, and she's taking iron supplements.
Okay.
So we're working on not doing the iron supplements, because we already know what to do for that. And we're working also on changing her sugar, her salt. And she's also noticed, to be honest, we're going to talk frank here. Us as women, we have hormonal issues. So we have imbalances, and our diet dictates those imbalances or balances. Yes. So I'm working with her now to have a balance. And because her diet has changed, her hormonal balances have changed. So she's noticing more. We all have a discharge, but it's the color that's important.
Yeah.
So because of her diet change, she's noticing a better, lighter discharge.
That's good.
And that's a good thing.
That's good.
That's a good thing. And then her doctor also gave her an okay about her sugar. So we changed her sugar. So she's doing monk fruit, and she does the date syrup in her coffee. She's a coffee drinker.
Okay.
But we also are starting to work on either coffee in the morning or at night, and then a tea, which is nettle tea. Her doctor suggested nettle tea, which is the herbal tea. That is excellent.
Yeah, nettle is good.
Yeah. So we've incorporated those things into her regimens, and her doctor gave her the thumbs up. She said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing."
Keep doing. So y'all, this is a preview of what y'all gonna get every month at the midway point of each sun sign. So this is, we're not gonna open Gemini season with another live stream. We do it at the midpoint of each sun sign. So, that depends on, where the sun is, roughly 15 to 16 degrees of each of where the sun is in each sign.
Okay.
So you and I will be coming together to talk about, what the issues are for each sun sign. You'll talk about a case study, a client that you worked with, or a loved one that you worked with, or a colleague, or whoever you choose. That's your that's your call. And then we'll talk more general about what each sun sign can do to to ease into more health, more wellness.
Awesome.
And then we'll talk about the transits that are important for each sun sign. Like today, I talked about the new moon in Taurus, Venus. For Gemini, it's going to be Mercury, always Mercury, because Mercury rules Gemini. And the North Node has been moving through Gemini for a while. And so I'll talk about that and whatever is happening. But this is the format. And we want you all to support this effort, because I'm going to tell you something. So I've been working really hard to try to figure out how to manifest my Jupiter in my 6th house. I'm very much a 6th house person. The ruler of my moon is in Jupiter, it's in Sagittarius, and Jupiter disposes of my moon in the 6th house. And so I wanted to figure out how can I bring what I've learned in my own health and wellness journey to have a conversation with people about what they can do. And I've been struggling with that for a while, and I finally figured it out. And thanks to Callie, we are doing this together. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna We're gonna figure out a way to get this live stream out there, and so people can get some help. You know,
Yeah.
that's not, you know, preaching at them, you know, lecturing them, but just having a conversation, and you can take what you want from it and leave the rest. But knowing that we are both here to serve and to help people in their journey is really like what my vision for this was. You know,
Yeah.
hearing from both of us in our own voices, especially me, because I don't really get on, you know, I don't do a whole lot of videos and lives and stuff like that, but I need to do more of them. And I feel comfortable with Callie doing this. So I'm looking forward to the next one. And the next one will be, let's see. Sun goes into Gemini on the 20th. So 2 weeks from the 20th, which will be like early June, early to mid-June. We'll come back on and talk about Gemini. How about that? You looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to that. So all my Geminians.
All Geminis out there.
Geminis for the Geminis.
We got some for y'all.
Yeah.
Gemini. Flitting bear. And
yes. Taurus, you're not alone. Gemini is right behind you.
Exactly. So that's really what this is all about. Soulistic Wellness, PHL. We will, you know, both of us are in Philly. Both of us are connected to all kinds of resources in Philly. We'll be talking about those as we do more of these live streams. And we just ask that you support us in any way that you feel led to do. Callie, can you mention your Cash App?
So my Cash App name is $, and my full first name is KALICHANDRA. That's $ Kalachandra on Cash App. KALICHANDRA. Thank you.
Yes. So if you got questions, don't be hitting her up talking about, can you help me and get that Cash App? I'm serious about this because your knowledge and your expertise has value, and Taurus understands that language. So my thing is, don't be stingy, Taurus. Hit that Cash App.
Thank you. Much love. Yes.
And so my Cash App is $ T Kinsey Enterprises. If you go to my website, I link to like my PayPal and stuff like that. Are you linked to all that on your website?
No.
Okay.
No.
We gotta get you linked to, you know.
I am linked on my website to Book Now though. Okay. And Book Now will give you, once you book either 30 or 60-minute coaching call with me, you can book that way, and then my payments are at the end.
Cha-ching.
So, Book Now, and we can have a call together, and we can talk about everything we talked about for Taurus. And this relates to all astrology signs. Yes. And then we're going to talk about Gemini. Yes. And so, yeah.
So follow my IG, follow Vegan Chef Callie's IG. When we get close to getting ready to go live, you will be blasted with social media content all over town. So don't unfollow us.
Or, you know what else you can do? Yeah, we can, right. We can also, to my page, you can find how to contact me, and I'm sure through your page, if you send us your email address, we can email you straight out too. You know, if you're not comfortable with going online, we can email you, you know, the next time we'll be on live as well.
Yeah.
Because July, I don't know what July is going to be on for you. And who's in July besides the Cancers, the Cancerians in July?
Well, it'll be Cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be Cancer.
Because July, we may have to do a taping somewhere. I may be traveling July. It's still a question mark.
Yeah.
So we're you know, still working.
We'll play it by ear, but what y'all will know, what you know for certain is that we will be back in June.
Yeah.
And just stay tuned for the date and the time
Right here.
right here on Zoom.
Yay.
So, with that said, I just want to wish you all, like those who kind of popped in and out, those who may have been watching on the YouTube live stream, thank you. I really appreciate it. Tell your friends, like the channel, like us on social media, follow us on social media, book a session, Cash App if you want to, $5.
Every little bit helps.
Every little dollar
Every
helps.
little bit helps. It all goes back to what? Growing the business, to come and give you the knowledge.
Help.
Yeah. We all need somebody. Help.
Help. Anybody. Anyway. So we have come to the end of this live stream. Thank you so much for spending time with me this afternoon. I am so grateful.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you all.
And like I said, we're here to serve. We're here to inform. We're here to enlighten. And you know, if you have friends who are Taurus folks, you know, share this live stream. I'll be putting out the link to the YouTube replay very shortly. You know, just share it. Take what you need, leave the rest, and just remember to be well. Especially now, this pandemic. You know, we got to take care of ourselves.
Yes. And we got to be there for one another as we're taking care of ourselves.
That's right.
Each one teach one. We hold each other accountable to be our best optimum self.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And you be holding me accountable talking about that coconut oil. Don't be bringing me that old garbage coconut oil, that bootleg.
You can use that. You can use it if you like on your skin. But if you're going to be eating it or whatever, let me make sure you have the right what.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And I appreciate that. That's how we hold each other accountable. Just you know, through, you know, upgrading our information, helping us make better healthy choices, healthy diet choices, healthy food choices.
Yes.
Right? And then what we buy and how we buy it and who we support, you know, is all important. And we have these resources. We just need to get it out to more and more people. So we people staying well.
Yes, because our people we needed the most. Our Black and brown people, we needed the most.
That's right.
And we want to help you people. So stop being stingy with the pocketbooks. Let us help you. When you help us, we help you. You support other businesses, help.
I ain't say that, y'all. Come at her.
I love you.
Come for her. Don't come at me talking about yourself.
I love it. I love our people. I love us.
Don't come at
me. But we are so hard to work with and support.
That's
I don't understand.
Side of Taurus. But we'll say that for another stream.
Yeah, that's my spiel. I love you all. Thank you, Tishka, for this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful live and this collaboration. This is going to be amazing, and I'm looking forward to next month. Yay! Gemini.
All right, so we're going to end this now.
All right, love. Good night, everyone. Enjoy your savory day.